Afternoon. Mike Mullen from MikeMullen.net, leaving Michigan International Speedway, where Kurt Busch just won the pole for Sunday's Michigan 400, beating Jamie McMurray. And Jamie was surprised that he got beat. He says his engine guys, the Earnhardt Chodos Motor Program, Danny Lawrence and those guys, they put a lot of work into qualifying. A lot of work. He wanted the pole. Kurt and Jamie went 1-2 at Charlotte. Could be 1-2 here Sunday, depending on the gas mileage. Big story today. Two big stories, really. NASCAR is holding meetings with drivers and crew chiefs and car owners to discuss how to pump up TV ratings, get more fans involved, and to give them sort of an update on what the fans are saying and what kind of data they're getting back on the state of the sport. Not a lot of specifics, but a lot of options. How they might change the chase, how they might change this, might change that, might change the bumpers on these cars, might get rid of the splitters, which I think's pretty stupid. I don't like that idea. All they do is use them for a cutting board to slice tires like Kyle Busch did to Jeff Burton at Charlotte. Might change some things there. A lot of ideas being thrown around. Drivers and crew chiefs didn't really want to talk about them all publicly. Privately they did. We're going to give you that story on MikeMullen.net. They're going to have some more meetings too. That's good. Jeff Gordon says that's really good. He didn't like all the ideas he heard, but he likes the idea that NASCAR's talking and listening. Doing a lot of listening. When was NASCAR listening last? Sort of unusual. The other big story? Joey Logano. Kevin Harvick. Another run-in. Everybody had to weigh in on that. Greg Biffle said he's no Joey Logano fan and laid it all out. Joey Logano laid out his side of it. They've all had a bunch of run-ins. We talked to Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon. They say no problems at all with Joey Logano. So is there a good Joey and a bad Joey, or is he just a young kid? He just turned 20 a couple weeks ago. Is he just a young kid who's got way too much talent, stealing the money from these veterans, and they're upset about that? A little bit of jealousy, maybe. Mark Martin does concede that Joey does drive hard. Maybe he's just an aggravating factor. The other drivers say, well, there's a code out here. You've got to do this. You got to do that. You know, you got to learn how to play the game. I don't know. Did they learn how to play the game? I think he made the game. I don't know if Joey's going to make the game, but he's in the middle of a hurricane right now. And we had to write all those stories about all those comments and all those opinions about Joey. And then Kevin Harvick walks in the afternoon to give his side of it. Nice presentation, Kevin. Good job. Had all his facts and figures and knew exactly how many times Joey tried to wreck him and how many times he wrecked Joey and what the problem was. Don't know if they solved anything. In fact, I think the story is they didn't solve anything. And we talked to Carl Edwards about that, and he said, hey, he's already had his problems. He doesn't need any more controversies. He just as soon stay out of them. But he did point out that he went to Victory Lane in Nashville last weekend to congratulate winner Brad Keselowski. Remember Brad, the guy that Carl crashed at Atlanta because they got into each other earlier in the race? He says now they're even. You want to be even, you want to be zero with all the guys that you have to race for the chase. A lot of guys are looking at the chase now saying, really need to make more friends than enemies out there on the racetrack because, hey, you get to Loudon in September, some of these tracks, Talladega in October. Some guy you ticked off might just return the favor at a most inopportune moment. That's what they're starting to think. Kevin Harvick says, hey, he's not worried. Joey, I think Joey sort of not sure of what's going on around him. Of course, he is new to this. Been racing for a long time, but racing on the racetrack and racing in the glare of the public spotlight like this, with media hounds like MikeMullen.net, a little different picture than racing some short tracks. We're going to see how Joey handles this thing. That'll be fun to watch. And Kurt Busch, looks like he might be able to run away with the race on Sunday if he's got enough fuel. Who gets good gas mileage in these races? And will Ford turn things around? Another big story to watch? Not sure. And one question I have, this is Detroit. Dodge CEO Ralph Gilles is going to be over in Montreal at the Formula One race instead. Huh? What's that all about? How come he's not here? Detroit. Michigan International Speedway. Yeah, we'll see. Mike Mullen for MikeMullen.net. Friday evening, Kurt Busch, Jamie McMurray, 1-2 for Sunday's Michigan 400.